for this fledgling nation. And there was a reason to fight for this. But I was thinking about a different type of veteran. I mean, well, those who've given their life for the cause of the kingdom. The Apostle Paul. All of the apostles, except for John, and the martyrs who've gone before. That's what it's been building on. They have given their life. They've been in the fight that we've not had to do. And but recognizing those who have. Now, I know that Remington and Samuel and Ryan, Daryl and Duke, who's not here, Duke and Janie, Duke, we have 3 that are serving, 2 that have served, and if I've left anyone out, please tell me. I don't mean to leave anyone out. They've not had to give their life, but we have. That's what Memorial Day is that you remember those who've laid down their lives. And there was a congressman in 1868 named James Garfield, who later became the 20th president, and he gave a speech on Decorations Day, which is the first Memorial Day, at Arlington National Cemetery. And he addressed all the people, the crowd that was there. There was about 5,000 people gathered there. And this is part of his speech. I'm just going to read this part. I am oppressed with a sense of the impropriety of uttering words on this occasion. If silence is ever golden, it must be here beside the graves of 15,000 men whose lives were more significant than speech, and whose death was a poem, the music of which can never be sung. With words we make promises. We vow faith. We praise virtue. Promises may not be kept. An avowed faith may be broken, and a vaunted virtue may be the cunning mask of vice. We do not know one promise these men made, one pledge they gave, one word they spoke, but we do know they summed up and perfected by one supreme act the highest virtues of men and citizens. For love of country, they accepted death and thus resolved all doubts and made immortal their patriotism and their virtue. For the noblest man that lives, there still remains a conflict. He must still withstand the assaults of time and fortune, must still be assailed with temptations before which lofty natures have fallen. But with these the conflict ended. The victory was won when death stamped on them the great seal of heroic character and closed a record which years can never blot. It is our responsibility to ensure the sacrifices of millions who gave their lives for our country are not forgotten. We cannot reflect on this holiday without also remembering the ultimate example. See, there was a sacrifice that was made for us. For God so loved the world. He signed up for it. He said before creation, hey, I'm going to do whatever needs to be done. And when the time comes, I'm coming. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You know, these who sign up and go in the military, honestly, my father served in the military. Mark's father served in the military. Mine was, he was over there when all of that was happening with World War II. He saw so much that my dad came home, he never, ever spoke of anything. You would not have known he was in the military had you not looked in the trunk and saw all of his stuff. But he wouldn't speak of it. It was so bad. And thank the Lord, Mark's dad didn't have to go over there. I don't know if any of your fathers served, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. As a grandmother, Sheena as a mother, we do not want our boys in harm's way. I am proud that they have a sense of honor and a sense of the character. And Scott and Diana understand this with Ryan, so many years that he's served and been in dangerous places. When we send those that we love, they are fighting. I want you to remember that those over there who are fighting, you may say, oh, I don't understand what's going on in Iran. I don't understand why we're over there. Gas prices are so high over here. Things are so high over here. You're uncomfortable, but you still have a home to go to. That has not come over here. That's why we're over there. That's why we are over there. And I'm not on a political bandwagon, but this is necessary. If you read your scripture, you understand this is necessary because they are going to, given the opportunity, to blow us up. And so this is necessary. Do I like high gas prices? No. Do I want the ones that I love to go over there? No. But I'm telling you, there are those in this country, there are a few who will sign the paper and volunteer and go and fight over there so it doesn't come here. So that you can have a communist mayor in New York and others around. But I want us to remember and salute, which our flag blew down and Pastor Mark hasn't been able to put it back up yet. So we do have one, but it blew down and it's been down, but with his back on the men, we'll get it back up soon. Let's go to the Lord in prayer this morning and throughout the day. If you see a veteran, if you know someone, call them. Say thank you. Thank you, because you can remember our veterans today too, because honestly, I don't know anyone who has perished on the battlefield. But I am